Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23 and it is time for round 2. It is time for the Termas Rio Hondo of Argentina. So here we go then, from pole position, my first pole in Moto2 after terrific wet weather performance. I'm keen to see how we get on here. Not a great start already. 12 laps of Argentina is underway. Whoa, look at that gap we build up already. Whoa, what's happened to the AI? This is 120% difficulty, ladies and gentlemen, and they have did they not start? Did they get a different light? Did I jump the start? What on earth has happened there? 1.8? 1.7? Wow. Alright, well, we're staying in power setting 2 as we just cut the apex of turn 3 there. We did just get ourselves a track limit warning, but 1.6 seconds. I know they've done this before in previous videos, and I know they do catch up, so I'm not too concerned, but it's a little bit surprising considering they're so far behind. But anyway, guys, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe if you do enjoy the video. But rest assured, this is not over yet. At least, I don't think it is anyway, because we've got 2 seconds advantage, but I do know that AI will become stronger, and I can only use power setting 2, because the second I use the third power option, it instantly goes into the red and I need to be careful with the fuel. So I'm still learning very much how to manipulate the fuel here in Moto 2. In Moto 3 I had a good feel with it, and some of the times you could just really reduce it, or sometimes it would just actually stay in power setting through 3 for the entire race. But here, extremely sensitive. Use a bit of power setting 3 and that's it. Now immediately you must then go back down, otherwise you're going to burn way too much fuel. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Maybe it's because we're with the forward team and it's not a very well developed team in the sense of MotoGP 23. There's not been any parts to it and there's not been any real development, but look at that, 3.4 seconds across the line. We are ahead of championship leader Tony Arbolino. But if the lights were to go out now, or at least the flags were to go out, should I say, we would be the championship leader by just 5 points. In fact, no, we wouldn't. We'd be joint, because Tony Arbolino won the first race, I finished second. And then this is a rehearsal, or at least a reversal, let's say. But I'll tell you this, for nothing, for free. In the practice and in the qualifying, we had wet sessions. In one free practice it was dry, which sent me directly to Q2. And from there it was full wet conditions, it was raining heavily. So I did notice before we started this, it said variable weather and it had the picture of the rain. So I don't know whether it will happen, but honestly, looking at the skies above, it really looks like it will rain. And I think that's a good thing for the sense of this video, but a bad thing, because although I did get qualifying, I got the pole position in qualifying in the wet conditions, I don't know how well I'm going to do in a full race situation. So I'm a little bit nervous, but 5-second advantage here in the dry with lap times I'm just going to keep on churning out, or potentially a pretty crazy, intense race in the wet. I probably have to go for the content side, so I kind of hope it does rain in a way, because really making this video is more important and making it more exciting than it is than me just playing the game by myself. So, selfish side to me really wants to keep it dry though. Well, I'm going to try and put in some good laps nonetheless, and let's just hope we get the best situation for what will make the better content. Let's just say it that way for today's video. But into the first corner, we're looking pretty good. No. Okay. No, it's raining. It's raining. Yeah, I knew it would. There's no way we were going to get a 7-second advantage. Perhaps this is why the AI struggled. I don't know whether it works that way in MotoGP 23. I never noticed it before, but do they struggle because they're already in wet mode? I don't know. Usually in MotoGP 23 though, they do feel like they're in complete dry mode and then they will completely change to wet. So I don't think it's like they're already in conservation mode with the weather. But the only thing I ask for in MotoGP, we noticed it in Valencia twice in the Moto 3 Championship, because of course we did the debut season and then the full season with the 658 Quadricorsa Honda team. The rainy conditions, when it does get red flags, it's never wet enough. It's alright, 37% precipitation. It's not wet enough. So I really hope if we do wait and get the race red flagged, it better be fully wet. None of this mixed stuff, because mixed is something I really struggle with. I don't like that weather type at all. Full-on rainy conditions or full dry is what I prefer. Cloudy weather, yeah, go ahead. But the mixed conditions are really, really difficult here in MotoGP 23 because the AI just don't seem to suffer any tyre wear. They don't seem to suffer any temperature. They just seem to have it. But I was only able to do a 1:41 lap time, which is nothing particularly impressive. Now, I do have a screenshot of my qualifying in the wet conditions, which I'll show you when this race eventually gets red flagged, because of course it's not going to get to half the distance, this one, and it's certainly not going to get to 75% race distance complete, so we are going to be restarting this very soon, because of course, unfortunately, to spoil a bit of the spontaneity, when you do have a wet weather session or a flag to flag session within MotoGP, I've never seen it stop raining. It always rains and then continues to rain, so it forces the wet weather situation. I've never seen it start raining and then stop. Hopefully for MotoGP 24 we'll have that for next year's instalment. And of course, I've never really had the weather change towards the latter stage of a race, or maybe just in the middle. It's always usually at the start pretty quickly, but then again, in Portimao it did go right towards the latter stage of the race, so maybe I've just not had enough of experience with the mid conditions and the changing of the dynamic weather. But oh, there's the red flag. There is the red flag, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the first race done and dusted. We'll be starting from pole once again. Before we jump into the race restart, I would like to show you my qualifying time for the session in Q2. I did pretty well and I was happy with this one. So I also realised I don't ever show you guys my qualifying time. So if you want to see this sort of screen from now on, just let me know in the comments section down below. But for now, it's time to race. And here we are, back in pole position. We wait for the red lights to go out and away we go. So it's a good start, 2.5 tenths of a second ahead of Tony Arbolino. 3.5 tenths of a second as a matter of fact. Whoa, it's actually even better than that, 4 tenths. Either we are just lightning starters or the AI tend to struggle on the starts. Now, as much as I would like to say it's the former, I think it's definitely the latter. So I think the AI just need a bit of work regardless of their difficulty. Here in Argentina, whoa, Tony Arbolino, never mind me slagging off the skill sets for the starts and the way they start the races, but already into turn 4, Tony Arbolino's making me work hard for this top spot here in Argentina. Wow, what a contrasting emotions. We were up by 7 seconds before the wet weather arrived, and now all of a sudden we are on the defence. Oh my god, who was that? Was that Agora? Agora going up in the inside of turn 5. What a bold move, brazen from the Japanese rider. That's put us really on the back foot now. And something to mention, I did put the fuel all the way up to its maximum, because when I originally went onto the fuel to check the bike and to make sure we had the medium tyres selected, or the medium wet should I say, the fuel was like halfway down and it was wanting to continue with half fuel, so I have pushed it right up to the top, assuming that I'll be able to run Power Steering 3 for this race, but already we're into the minus. And with how... oh, massive contact there from Somkat Chantra. He is an aggressive rider in MotoGP 23. It's not the first time I've made contact with him in whilst playing Moto 2, and even in MotoGP 22 is the same. Why are they doing Chantra like that? He's not like that. He's a good, clean rider. But there goes my chances of victory, I would say. Down by a second. Let's get back in. Immediately moved it into Power Steering 3, and we're at minus 0.2, minus 0.1. It cannot be sustained. I cannot use Power Steering 3 for that duration amount of time. It's just not going to happen, is it? It's too much to ask, and we go over to the right hand side now and back into the left for the tight and twisty left-hander coming out of turn 2. Look at the spray, it's being kicked up. It's really wet now. They did again though, when I looked at the graphic, it did say only 37% of rain, and yeah, the medium front is beginning to get a little bit warm. I hope it's not going to be a problem for the rest of this race, but for now it's an issue. Look at that, minus 0.9 on the laps of fuel. Oh, I'm trying to brake into turn 5, I'm just not going to get it stopped. The fuel is really going to be a big issue for us here. I mean, the bar looks okay, but you can't guarantee it, because I know I've done rides online in the past and you use power setting 3 to what you feel is appropriate and what the gauge tells you, and then it just doesn't work, and I'm going wide again into turn 7. We've lost another spot now. That's Filip Salac coming through. The Czech Republican ride, of course, with Elf meet Mark VDS next year, replacing Sam Lowes. And into the left-hand side for turn 9. We're going backwards here, guys. We are going absolutely backwards. I wanted to be selfish and keep the rain away, but deep down I wanted to make the content interesting, and somehow we got a track limit warning there. One of the main championship protagonists is behind us, Pedro Acosta. 0.2 of a second is the young Spaniard. We now go to the right-hand side for 13, then quick change of direction into 14. I might be able to close in a bit, but the straights is where I'm going to lose a dramatic amount of time. We're currently 2 seconds down to our fastest lap, which we set in the qualifying. I need power setting 3. There's nothing I can do about it here. We're sitting ducks. We just lose a massive amount of time with power setting 2. I think you can get away with it in MotoGP and sometimes a bit in Moto3, but here in Moto2 it's a big ask, and especially in the wet conditions. And there comes Pedro Acosta. Beautiful move up the inside. Not the cleanest of moves, but it works, and I'm going to get him back going into turn 3. Thank you very much, but power setting 2 on this straight here, we stand no chance as Acosta. Whoa! He's pushing me really onto the curbs there. You get caught in the rumble strip there, and he's pushing me off the track almost. Goodness me! Didn't like my move around the outside and port him out, it seems, then, as Salac now goes up on the inside of Chantra. Whoa! Everyone's going wide here into turn 5. Just seen one of the Bosca scorers there. It was Fermin Aldeguer. He's coming through as his teammate Alonso Lopez is up there into 3rd place. And look how far we've fallen behind. 3 seconds away from Tony Arbolino, who's looking to be taking the perfect 50 points in 2 rounds. What a start for Tiger Tony. Can't do any better than that, really, can you? I guess only if he did the pole positions and fast laps, then maybe you could say. But he's currently the fastest man on track with a 1:47.902. But for me, using power setting 2 as well, Aldeguer, that's a beautiful move. Can't fault that from the Spaniard. And there goes Aaron Canet as well. I'll try and get him back going into the right-hander. Quite strong up into the penultimate corner, but I need full wet conditions. Maybe the more this race progresses, the better it'll become as we sneak. Oh no! Down into the right-hander. That's a disaster. That is an absolute disaster. I'm in the worst spot possible now to try and regain the... Oh no. This is disaster. An absolute sham here in Argentina. From 1st place with about 7-second advantage to down on the floor twice in 1 corner. That is a disaster. Now, I think oh man, I think we continue though. I really do. I think if we exit this one, I think we're going to miss out on some valuable information on what we need to use for the future in these wet conditions, because we can't keep shying away every single time this happens. But what I do know is that it's so difficult when the conditions are like this. If it was full wet, then absolutely fine. But in the mixed, I mean, I say it's mixed. It is full wet, of course it is, but the dry line that it just makes the tyre so warm. I need 100% rain or 80 above. 30, 40% is not enough for me. I struggle so much, so I think throughout the season we are going to struggle every single time it is a mixed conditions race. If we go into flag to flags, it's going to be challenging. And that is really tough. I don't think we finished any mixed or flag to flag situation yet. I think the only ones we've done anything with is when the race has been red flagged and race not restarted, so full points were rewarded after 75% race distance. It's really challenging here, but I want to continue because I can't think of a way to make it fair. Because when you struggle so much with the front and rear tyres just burning up, the power is holding me back as well. It's going to be really challenging this season, and we're already in the 2nd one, and I'm all for it. I can't wait. If we get more of these flag to flags, then so be it. It'll keep the championship interesting. I mean, Moto3 championship was very interesting as well. We stuck to the rule that if we did crash out, then unfortunately that's the race ended. This time I'm going to use it for a bit of extra experience because both of those crashes were quite gentle, so there's no reason I can't get back on the bike and continue. And I think it's very important that we do continue and really tune our lap times and ourselves to understand how we can go fast in these conditions. But I'm going to put it on a limb. I think towards the latter stage of this race, when it goes really, really sodden, I think that's when we're going to put in some good lap times. So stay with me. We're going to churn out some lap times, but I do apologise that if it's been basically just ruined the video because of that crash. But I'm not giving up. And I really want to figure out what's the deal with this fuel. Because so far it looks like we've got loads of fuel. But plus 0.07 with power setting on 2 currently. The second I put that to 3, it is going to just disappear. So a lot of questions and no answers yet, but trust me guys, we're going to figure it out in this one. We really are. And I'm not going to give up. We're going to catch up to Dennis Foggia. That's my goal in this one. For 29th position on the grid. For 29th, for 0 points, I'm going for it. Okay, now it's Lucas Tulovic. Oh, it was, and then it's changed. So Ethan Guevara, Kota Nazarne, Lucas Tulovic, and Dennis Foggia in 29th. There's a 4-second advantage for them. Now, I could absolutely just burn the fuel here with power setting 3 and just really figure out what's going on with the fuel situation, or we can just stay in Sue for now. Oh god, very deep into turn 13. If only I'd done that against Fermin Aldeguer, I probably wouldn't have gone down. Now I do realise that that was a bit of an audacious lunge into turn 13. I felt like it could work, but that little bit of contact when he touched me on the left hand side of the bike, it just pushed it straight down. Similar to what happened to Brad Binder with Maverick Vinales, I think, this year. I think something like that happened. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but I know something very similar. But into the first split, we have taken 0.5 of a second away from Foggia, so it is coming to us. But that medium front, though, have you seen? Oh, track limit warning, a metaphorical slap on the wrist. As Alonso Lopez has now taken second from the aggressive, hard-charging Ayagura from the start of the race. But I will say, the amount of tyre wear that medium front has taken is ridiculous. I know I was quite aggressive in some of the corners. I haven't really changed my braking style yet with the wet conditions. You require a lot more on single straight line braking rather than trail braking. It doesn't really work in the wet conditions, and I think that's what really propelled me to the qualifying spot I got in Q2 yesterday, or at least before I recorded this video. And honestly, I felt like I really nailed a full wet, and I was ready for a full wet race, and then we got dry, and I was like, cool, let's go full dry then, not a problem for me. But unfortunately, not getting either or and getting both was not really what I wanted. Teammate Marcos Ramirez is going to pick up some points, but we have definitely lost the team's championship standings right now. There's not a chance that Ramirez is up that far to hold back against Tony Arbolino and Sam Lowes. But anyway, onto the brakes we go. Still nowhere near my 1:47 lap time that I set earlier on. Now into the left, cutting across the apex and across the line. A 1:49.501, so that looks to be our potential with power setting 2. Now if power setting 3 can really find us 2 whole seconds, then we're going to be in trouble if we're not careful with the fuel setting this year. I think my best bet is to get pole, try and break away, and hopefully save enough fuel in future races. Not sure how we're going to do this yet, but this is the excitement and the brilliance of what Moto2 will be in our MotoGP 23 career mode, and this is what I'm super excited for. I'm actually more excited for this now than Ride 5, which is crazy to say because Ride 5 is absolutely phenomenal, but I'm really curious to see this one, and I like being the underdog. I don't have to win every single race, and I don't have to try and win every single championship in my rookie season. I like it when it gets a bit interesting. Moto 3, it looked relatively done and dusted for us quite a few times in certain tracks, but then we had those curveballs that would pop up out of nowhere and really make the career mode interesting. So I'm all for it. If it's going to be situations like this where I have to take what I can get, or if I just have to take it on the chin, then that's how it'll be. I'm just really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in this career mode. Now, of course, the next race coming up is the Circuit of the Americas. I'll have that done this week, so make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. And of course, if you are enjoying the content, why not give the video a like as well? It does help out push the algorithm on YouTube, and we're not that far away from 9,000 subscribers too, so yeah, definitely click those buttons if you're interested, but if not, don't worry about it. no problem at all. But anyway, into turn 13, nice tight apex for the 13th corner, and now to the left-hand side. We could, oh, steady, bring the gap to less than 2 seconds by the first split. No promises, but it could very well happen. So onto the brakes for turn 1. We're quite strong there. I feel like I'm really getting the hang of this now into the wet conditions. I don't know whether it's just that I'm improving in this condition, or if it's because the rain is still coming down and it's getting wetter and wetter. I don't know. There's questions and yet again, still no answers. But into the right hand side, now be careful not to cut the apex. I don't fancy getting a long lap penalty as well as finishing dead last. Now the gap's come down to 2 seconds, and I'm going to go for power setting 3 for a bit, I think. I'll use it a little bit on the straight, and you can see we already lost a lot of fuel. The yellow flags are out. Someone's gone down somewhere. Not like it makes a big difference to us, because even if we do pass them, we're still going to be out of the points, so it doesn't really matter. Now, Ayagura is currently a fast man on track with a 1:47.869. That is still 0.8 of a second slower than my pole position lap time in the full wet conditions. This is very interesting. This is me working things out for this Moto2 career mode. That's why I'm going to repeat it and talk about it a lot here. So into the final couple of corners of lap number 8. I can see a gaggle of rides ahead of us. I think there's Sean Dillon Kelly in there, Sergio Garcia, Kota Nazane, Tulovic and Foggia, and we are less than 2 seconds away for the very first time, or at least I think we were to start the lap, but it's not enough to really make an impression. But these last couple of lap times with power setting 2 haven't been all that bad. 1:49.8, 1:49.5, it's definitely only good enough for the back of the grid, it's nothing impressive. But that's with power setting 2. What could we do if we use power setting 3? So I think now is a great time to find out. Let's consider going up to power setting 3. I haven't really got the opportunity to do it here. But when we get to the straight, I'll put us into power setting 3. And we'll see how quickly our fuel depreciates. I am interested though, because look how much fuel it's actually shown we have. Have I been too conservative with this? I've only been conservative because I always felt that the fuel would just disappear on me, but it genuinely looks like I've got way more fuel to give, and this could have been the difference maker many laps ago. As there's yet again more yellow flags. It seems to be every single time we get over here to turn 5, there seems to be a yellow flag out somewhere, but into the right-hander then, we're now 1.5 seconds behind Foggia. Kota Nazane's dropped to 28th now, and we're still in power setting 3. But I did have to hold off a lot in power setting 2. So once it... I'm sorry guys, the questions, I really don't know the answer to this one. It just seems so strange. I've never had this issue before where the fuel is completely just bugged. Is it just the career mode that's happening? Because I've never seen this before in Moto2. We're closing in quite rapidly now on these guys. We're not going to set our fastest lap or anything, but it's only just now gone into the minus. How quickly is that green going to depreciate? Or to disappear, should I say. This is interesting. This is working it all out for the future, guys. This is why I need to know. So this is interesting. We'll be discussing this again. And of course, if you have any information for me, let me know in the comment section down below. Because look how much we've closed in now. Should have been using it ages ago. But anyway, across the line, it's a devastating result. We got no points. But I think we learned a lot today in these treacherous conditions. So Tony Arbolino leads the way. We've got Alonso Lopez in second and Ayagura in third place. We are all the way down the bottom, and our fastest lap was a 1:49.102. 2 seconds behind our qualifying pole position. So, championship standings, let's see what the damage is. Tony Arbolino with the perfect 50 points. Alonso Lopez second with 14 behind. Chandra 29 behind, and myself still in, well, now into fourth, 30 points behind. But guys, that is it from me. There is the team's championship. I'll leave that with you. So guys, thanks for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. And most importantly, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.